the city of Glasgow, not the capital, but of course the largest city in Scotland. And for a second time, it is Scotland that hosts the prestigious World Badminton Championships. The fans have been pouring in all day, and this is badminton at its very, very best. Well, we're starting this afternoon's evening session with four singles that involve left-handers. We've got the world number one, Son Wan-ho of Korea, in his opening match, and then we've got a women's singles and Manaki, which is a very famous name in world badminton, up against Kate Fu-Kun. Then we've got the left-handed Tanon Satsing-Sung-Boon-Sak, the number 11 seed. And then the match so many of the fans have come to see, the five-time former champion Lin Dan of China up against the Scottish number one, Kieran Merrilees. After that, we have Tommy Sugiyato, who was bronze medalist at the World Championships in 2014. And then Rajiv Youssef, the English number one, who happens to be the European champion. So much action to come still here at the Total BWF World Championships. So as far as the next match is concerned, the world number one, Son Wan-ho, is up against the left-handed Kalle Koljonen of Finland. World number one, of course, Son Wan-ho, trying to make history here at the World Championships in Glasgow. He is the number one seed, as you can see, so this is obviously the top section of the draw, and day one of the championships, of course, means that it is first round action. In fact, we will be seeing Tanon Satsing-Sung-Boon-Sak, the number 11 seed, there a little later on. So Son Wan-ho is hoping to become the first ever world champion from Korea in any of the singles disciplines. Of course, Korea have dominated and really thrived in the three doubles disciplines, but never have they won gold in either the men's or women's singles. Of course, they've had a couple of silver medalists in both those disciplines, but never a gold. Well, sitting alongside me is former head coach to the Danish national team, Lars Ua. And Lars, I mean, I don't know whether you think that he's overwhelming favourite. Of course, there's a lot of sentimental support behind Lee Chong-wei. He's been in 4 finals, never won the final. Lin Dan is the most incredible athlete the sport has ever seen. We'll be seeing him later. But this man, well, I'm going to come back to you in a minute, because he's 29 years of age. He is world number one, enjoying his 12th week at the top of the world rankings. So highest ranking obviously is not 4, and he's currently number 1. And Son Wan-ho is playing in his 6th World Championships, and the 3rd consecutive time that he's been seeded. He was quarter-finalist in Copenhagen 3 years ago, and as the number 9 seed at the last World Championships, lost in the round of last 16. Now, as far as Kalle Koljonen is concerned, the left-hander, born in Helsinki, he has been as high as 69 1 week last month, so he's just down from that. And I had the absolute pleasure of chatting to him a couple of hours ago when he was on the warm-up courts, and he's very excited about the opportunity to play against the world number one. He seems quite a character, Lars. I mean, he was saying, I'm an aggressive player, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it all.
Yeah, and he told me that he knows that Son Wan-ho is very strong in all areas, but he wanted to try to give it a shot at his normal game, and maybe even more aggressive than he normally plays.
Well, what an opportunity on the big stage for Kalle Koljonen. Of course, we've had players, as we're looking at our court officials, we've had players from Finland in the men's singles, regulars on the world tour. I'm thinking, of course, of players like Ville Lang and Pontus Jänti. And the man who match, the last 16 of the World Championships back in 1995. Robert Lilliquist, you, of course, remember him playing. I'm sure you remember him well. You probably coached against him, did you?
No, that was a little bit before my time, but I know Robert quite well from my years working with the Finnish team. So yeah, I know who you're talking about.
As well as a former coach in Finland, we're going to be asking you all the inside scoop.
Okay, ready, please. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kari Koljonen, Finland. And on my left, Son Wanho, Korea. Son Wanho to serve. Love all. Play.
So this first round men's singles match gets underway. And so there's a bit of a gulf as far as the difference in world rankings are concerned. One suspects that the world number one has never been in this position where he's been a favourite at a major competition, and one assumes that he might be just a fraction nervous or too experienced for that, Lars.
I think it won't show in these first rounds. Of course, both players will have to get acquainted to the surroundings and playing in the hall, but I think Son Wanho is pretty confident about the match today. But it could show later on when he's facing probably more opposition.
Service over. 2-1. Change.
That's quick going forward.
Yeah, and here we can see that Koljonen is following what he told us before the match, that he wanted to be aggressive and wanted to challenge Son Wanho with attacking play.
Oh, he's just wide. I understand that Koljonen actually is going to play for Steen Pedersen's club in the Danish league. The former head coach, and sitting in your seat just a moment ago before you. They've scooped him up for their club.
Yeah, and he played in the Danish league for another club last year already, and did pretty well. So I'm sure that that's why he has been offered a new contract in a bigger club.
That's good judgment.
Service over.
We were watching a little earlier on, Lars, and I know our colleagues seem to think that the drift was going towards the far side of the court as we look down. Your conclusions too?
Yeah, and especially that's what I've been told by coaches and players who has already been on that court. So I think we can agree on that, and that is probably also why Koljonen was testing out the depth of his lift before, because he knows that if the depth of his shots to the rear court is not almost perfect, then he will get in trouble from the attack from Son Wanho.
Service over. 5-3.
He builds up a very good rally here, Koljonen, moving Son Wanho, keeping him at the rear court under control, and then he can finish it off when Son Wanho is playing a slightly short clear, and Koljonen can come in with his attack. And I think he will be very happy with the way the first game has started here.
Change.
youngest of 4 children. 1 older brother and 2 older sisters.
Service over.
I always have felt, Lars, that when I watch Son Wan-ho, he seems very laid back. He never seems to panic. He never seems... Sometimes I feel I want to see more passion from him on court, but he's a very measured character, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not an actor, and he doesn't show a lot when you sit far off. I'm sure that when you're standing right in front of him, you can definitely feel him, and you can feel his passion. So he's not a show-off, but he's really determined and quite intimidating, actually, in his own silent way on court.
Yeah. Oof. Well, it's been called out.
Service
but
over.
Otherwise, it was a very good change of pace from Koljonen, and he was rushing for the net. Yeah, and unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it was long. Oh, well taken again. My goodness, he isn't afraid to go for it, is he?
No, and he's very good in control in the front court. He's higher in the front court than Son Wan-ho right now. And that does him a lot of good. And we can see that he's also working on playing the rear court with a little more height. One time he played it too flat, and Son Wan-ho was killing it easily.
Oh, that's magnificent. Straight down the line from Son Wan-ho.
Service over.
Yeah, and this lift was high enough, but it was way too short, and you have to have both the height and the right length. And now Son Wan-ho has realized that the real battle is around the front court and the net, so he has moved forward and is taking up the fight around the front court to control the game from there.
Service over. 8-7.
Yeah, he decided awfully early, didn't he? It was going to go wide. Yeah, just slightly off balance, wasn't he? That's probably why he made the error.
Service over.
And that's one of the things you have to be very, very careful about, not to get too eager and start attacking when he's not in position, because as a counter player, Son Wan-ho is one of the best in the world. So he has to choose his moments of attack very carefully.
No, overdone it.
9-8.
I haven't really seen him play before, Lars, but I'm wondering whether, given his personality of wanting to go out and attack and his willingness to tell both of us individually that that's what he was going to do, I wonder whether he's got the patience. You've just said he needs to choose his moment carefully, and I'm wondering whether he's got the character to be able to do that at this level.
Yeah, and that's what we have to wait and see, but that's the difficult part. And another difficult part of it is that he has played very, very well. He has opened the game very well and followed his tactics, but the score was 8-all, And then sometimes when you play better players, you feel, but I have to do even more than this. But if you've already played your best, then you can't do any more, because then you'll start making errors. So I think he should follow his plan, maybe make small adjustments. But he's actually played overall a very good first half of the first game.
To the mid-game interval, the world the number one seed, Son Wan-ho, with a 2-point advantage. 10 minutes into the match, 11-9.
Make sure jadi defender. And then if you have a chance, make them drop, but do not too slow. Something else. Many crosses, okay. Because you have a receive, you're too fast or something. Yeah, okay.
맞춰주지 말고 빨리빨리 치면 받아치니까 한 번씩 놓고.
Two coaches there. Angus Luis Santoso, of Indonesia, and John.
Two steps. Yeah, a little bit more lower. When he's making this.
20 seconds. Yeah. 20 seconds.
Yeah, and the Finnish coach is also Indonesian Santoso, Imam Teguh Santoso, who has been in Finland for a couple of years now.
11-9. Play.
That's a clever smash. I like that. Towards the right hip of Son Wan-ho. I know we've discussed it many times before. I think it's an underused shot in singles disciplines, that one to the hip. It's so more likely that the players hit down the sidelines.
I don't know if I totally agree on that. It's among the top players. It's a very common shot, and the best of them, they variate a lot. So they variate the speed and they variate the placement close to the lines, and then sometimes to the body, because it's very difficult as the defending player to cover, or it's impossible to be ready for all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we saw that this one took Son Wan-ho by surprise.
Oh, my goodness.
Very well played.
Yeah. Well, he did well to keep his concentration, did Kuljunen, because he must have seen from his peripheral vision this little slip there from Son Wan-ho.
And then this straight reverse slice from the forehand is one of his favorite shots, one of the shots he does best. So, but he used it at a perfect time here, and I'm sure the Finnish coach agrees with us that Kuljunen needed a little more patience. At least that's the way he has started out after the mid-game interval here, and that has been very efficient.
Yes, all 3 points since the mid-game interval.
12-11. Play.
That's nice. We've seen him smash straight down the line from his deep forehand corner. There we watch the world number one hit straight down the line with a smash from his deep backhand corner. Both sides played with accuracy.
Yeah, and Son Wan-ho is not the player with the biggest smash on the World Tour, but the placement is extraordinarily good, and especially from the backhand corner there, he tends to slice it a little bit, so it's actually going away from the defender towards the sideline, and then it's very difficult to first of all return it, but second of all to give it an angle, as Kuljunen was trying in this last rally.
It's almost as if that little scare with the slip from Son Wan-ho, whether he's just upped his game a bit. He looks to be flowing now. There's me worried about being injured.
I don't know if it's so much the risk of being injured, but it's. I think he realized that he had to, as he did before the interval, he had to be a little more aggressive. If he leaves all the initiative to Koljonen, then he's controlling the game too well.
Fourteen, 12.
Goodness me. That is class. How did he take that off the top of the tape?
15,
The timing
12.
on this is incredible.
Yeah, but he anticipates that Koljonen wants to keep the net, spin it back, and then as soon as it just slightly passes the tape, then he's ready to attack it. Very well played.
Oh, there's another beautiful net shot from the left-hander.
Yeah, and when he plays with patience and gets the control of the rallies, then he's really building up some nice rallies, Koljonen, and shows good touch on the net here as well.
Collie.
The man from Helsinki may not be a household name, but we should remember that he's been in 7 international tournament finals. Oh, well reached. That's just one. Yeah, 7 finals, winning 2 titles. In 2015, the Hungarian International Series. And a year later, in Norway, their International Series event. So not the elite tier of tournament in world badminton, but a solid professional around the tour, full-time player.
Yeah, and his top level is quite high. He in this spring he actually had match point against the Danish rising star Anders Antonsen. So he's definitely got potential.
Yeah.
17-13.
He's got to be a little bit careful. His little pushes down Son Ho's forehand corner, I think, are just a little too flat.
Yeah, and he has to be very careful with playing too flat when he's lifting. And that again comes back to the patience. Here we can see a good lift, and then he's in control. But Son Ho reaches the shuttles very high in the front court now, and that leaves less options for Koljonen to get in with his attack.
So, challenge from Son Ho, our first challenge of the match. Now, what does Hawkeye think? Caught the line. Good call, line judge.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 14-18.
2 challenges per game. Permitted, and it's very like tennis. If you're proved right, you keep your challenge. So if you have a 3-game match, a possibility of 6 challenges. He's working hard, isn't he, the left-hander?
Yeah, and the attack Koljonen is making in this rally is of no use because Sun Wan-ho is in perfect balance and is actually just enjoying to get the shuttle downwards, and then he can just direct it where he wants to. And Koljonen is working a lot harder than Sun Wan-ho in this particular rally.
Some game point opportunities
Game point,
for the
14.
world number one.
Game.
That's a little wild.
First game.
21-14, the opening game. Down in the very early stages. Coming back strongly, the number one seed, Sun Wan-ho. 19 minutes for game number one, 21-14.
This is about the... You can roll is okay. But important is in the net is something much faster. Do not too slow. Sometimes you want to save something, but you have many chances. Number two, about mentality. Make 1 point not easy for him. Yeah?
만화야, 제가 공격적이니까 조금만 짧으면 바로 공격하거든. 그리고 올리는 거 너무 짧게 올리지 마. 스매시 한번 때리면 한 번씩 선도 해주고 그러면 될 거야. 조금 빨리 해야
Yeah, a little bit too impatient, but that takes me out.
Keep it.
Well, I'm not sure if you managed to catch any of that, Lars, but I certainly heard Kalle talking about patience, so he knows himself exactly what you've been saying.
Yeah, I think he's quite aware of what, or they both are, what he has to do. It's just so tough to do it against a player like Sun Wan-ho because his defense is so solid, and as soon as Koljonen is playing a little bit bad quality especially to the rear court, then Sun Wan-ho will kill it. So it's a matter of for him to continue to do what he's done so well, and then see if he can keep the quality.
Play.
So, second game.
Yeah, and Sun Wan-ho is trying once again what he was successful with in the first game here to rush for the net, but Koljonen stays back and is just waiting for the push, which was very clever.
Service over. 1-0.
See a slight hesitation in this shot from Koljonen, and then it just slips off his racket and stays on his own side of the net.
Oh yes, that's well played from Sun Wan-ho.
2-1.
On the 25th of May, earlier this year, became only the second player from his country to reach the status of world number one. Lee Hyun-hin, of course, was the other. He was world number one for just 1 week in February, back 2004.
Service over. 2-0.
And here we can see that the flat lifts or the flat play a little bit upwards is also dangerous for Sun Wan-ho when he's choosing it at the wrong time. Well punished by Koljonen.
Service over.
But he hasn't found the way to play the rear court from this far side, and that frustrates him a little bit, Koljonen. And he has to keep working on that because it's so crucial in this match.
He's being pushed and pulled, made to twist and turn. Koljonen.
Yeah, so
he keeps so much in balance, doesn't he? The Korean with his movement, he leaps in the air and immediately his body weight is moving forward.
Yeah, and the quality of the lift from Koljonen is not the same, or hasn't been up until now in this game. So the attack from Sun Man Ho is very hard for him to defend, and especially to play it with quality. And that's why he gets into so much trouble every time he lifts. Actually, this one's better.
Oh, yes. Look at this movement again. The leap, he's moving forward as he lands. The gymnastic ability to be able to do that is fantastic. Oh, that's going to land short, surely. Oh, challenge here. Well, the umpire has called it in. Sun Man Ho wants another look at that because there are no front service line judges. Oh, second challenge of the match for Sun Man Ho. The second time. He's proved right. First occasion, of course, he was proved wrong. So on this second occasion, much better judgment from the Korean.
Play.
Oof. Down the line. Oh, there's a challenge here from Kale.
I think that's a good choice. From where we sit, it looked a little bit wide.
Well, Hawkeye will adjudicate for us and tell us for sure. Oh, well done, Lars.
Correction, out. Service over. 3-6. Play.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, very good follow-up here at the net from after the smash towards the body, and one of the advantages of smashing towards the body is that it's very difficult for the opponent to give it an angle. So a lot of times you will end up with an opportunity in the middle of the court at the net after that kind of a smash. I don't know whether he was in doubt there if it was out, but it clearly wasn't. A little bit over-ambitious shot from around the head.
It's going wide. One just senses that this is perhaps the moment where the world #1 is beginning to take real control. This is where Kale Koljonen has got to really focus and dig deep. Magnificent. What a smash. Almost seemed impossible that he could play that across court.
5-8.
Yeah, and the build-up to the finish there is very good. Very good patience and good quality in the lifting now from both backhand and forehand side of the net. and that's crucial because then he gets these opportunities a little bit in the rallies after a few shots. But if he gets in trouble every time he lifts, as he did in the beginning of this game, then it's too hard for him to get out of it. But this rally was very well played.
Good net play. And what I've been impressed about is he isn't afraid to take on the world #1 at the net.
6-8.
No, but that was also what I felt when I was talking to him before the match, that he was ready to take up the challenge, and he wasn't intimidated by Sun Man Ho. But he also respected, had a lot of respect because, as he said, he's good at everything. So it's.
Yeah, he did well to get the first one back, but the dominance from the front of the court from Sun Man Ho. Look, he makes his opponent stretch. He's late back to his base position. It's only a matter of time before Sun Man Ho can finish off the rally.
Yeah, and I think Koljunen's tactics has been right. It's just a little bit too hard for him to execute all the time. But in some parts of the game, he has done it very well and played some really beautiful rallies and some nice badminton.
Service over. 7-10. Service over, 11-7, interval.
So to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage. Sun Man Ho, but he's been made to work for this.
Try first, make control first. Number 2, if defend, do not too easy. Some make difficult something. Some things, not just receive here. Something defend close is okay something. That's number 3. If you have a net, it's good something. Yeah, one time is okay.
밸런스만 안 맞추면 되거든. 그러니까 올리는 게 조금만 짧다. 그거 신경 쓰면 아주 편하다. 그거 신경 쓰고 해라. 한 번씩 턴해주고.
Code 1, 20 seconds. Code 1, 20 seconds.
리사 됐어요. 리사.
11-7. Play.
So 11-7. Yeah. Lars, I was mentioning right at the start of this match that Korea have won gold medals in men's doubles, women's doubles and mixed doubles, but never a gold in men's singles or women's singles. But of course, they've had a silver medal in both of the singles disciplines. A silver medal in Lausanne in 1995 with Park Sung-woo.
13-7.
Or rather 2 years before that, because the World Championships used to be every 2 years. In Birmingham in 1995, in the women's singles, Bang Soo-hyun lost in the final.
Yeah, and it's amazing they haven't succeeded in winning a world championship just like this with Malaysia, with the level they've had for so many years, and that they haven't had that one break where everything works for them is incredible, because they definitely have had the quality to have a world champion also in men's singles.
4 times they've had players medal in total. It's a good rally. Overdone it, just wide. Yeah, and that's a little frustrating for him. Worked hard in that rally. Look at the effort. Try and take it early at the front of the court.
Yeah, as all Finnish players, he's not afraid to work Koljonen, but the problem is he has to work at a higher speed than he's used to, and there's also a lot of demands for the quality of his shots and the shot selection. So I think it's becoming a little bit too overwhelming now. And obviously Son Man-ho is feeling very confident and comfortable now. He's got a good choice here again.
Yeah. Run of 5 straight points.
8-15.
He was absolutely waiting for that, wasn't he? Finds the line. Super control on that smash.
Yeah, brilliant accuracy here.
Caught the outside edge of the line. Yeah, the coach, a sigh of relief from him. That was more difficult than it looked, because that shuttle was spinning ferociously, and it's desperately difficult to control because it hits the top of the tape as it goes over. That spin made it a lot more awkward than it looked.
Yeah, and we could also see that Koljonen chose very wisely to do a controlled kill instead of killing it with full power, because that's when oftentimes you mistime it a little bit, and there's a risk of making an error.
Oh, indecision from Son Man-ho.
Yeah, and before that, a very good deception at the net from Koljonen. He plays one of the few clears of the match, and that surprises Son Man-ho.
What's happening here? Well, I know that it was 5 straight points to Son Man-ho. It's been 5 straight points in response from Koljonen.
It was a pity for Koljonen because he was waiting for the push from Son Man-ho and ready to counter-attack it. He just overdid it a little bit, and it was long.
So it's over. 13-16.
I like that change of pace.
Yeah, and that's what he's been successful with in the period he has played well in the match. And very deceptive here. he shows that he wants to do a powerful attack, and then he plays this one of his favorite shots, the reverse slice.
It's a very good lift. Oh, my goodness, I don't believe it. That is fantastic by the left-hander. How on earth did he get that back?
Yeah, it's very well retrieved, but the problem in the rally is that Son Wan-ho is every time he plays the net, he moves backwards. He wants to go back and play attacking shots from the rear court, and Koljonen sees that and plays it back at the net, and in that way he keeps the initiative. I think it's time for Son Wan-ho to stay at the net after one of his good net shots, and maybe try to kill it as he has done it before, but at least to force Koljonen to play a lift.
Yeah. Well, he's just won 8 of the last 9 rallies as the left-hander. Make that 9 of the last 10 rallies.
Yeah, and he tried a little bit more at the net here, Son Wan-ho, but it was a little bit half-hearted, and Koljonen, he's going for full, so that's why he ends up winning the battle around the net.
Well, I wouldn't have thought I'd be saying 16-all when Son Wan-ho was leading 15-7. This is a remarkable run from Koljonen.
I think the Korean lost a little bit of focus and thought it was all over. But you don't do that against a Finnish player because they never give in.
No.
That's in the Finnish culture. So if you leave the opportunities open a little bit, then they fight their way back.
What a good rally. Yeah. Outmanoeuvred in the end. And the problem with hitting those cross-court shots from deep in court, if your opponent does read it, as Son Wan-ho did on this occasion, look, he steps in just the simple straight block, and of course Koljonen has the full diagonal of the court to scamper. Well, that's not the longest rally of this second game. We had one a moment ago at 38, didn't we?
But it was still long enough to make Koljonen getting too eager, and the last 2 attacks there was too early because Son Wan-ho was in perfect balance in defense, and he doesn't have the one shot to win there. Koljonen, he has to make a series of attacking shots in order to get through the defense of the Korean.
Yeah. Nice punch clear from Son Wan-ho.
16.
That's the one. Look how off balance the left-hander is there.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a lot of clears in this match, but both players have done them. The few they've done successfully, because it takes the opponent by surprise.
Well, 4 straight points from 16-all to bring up 4 match point opportunities. One will do. 21-14, 21-16. But what a spirited fight by the left-hander from Finland. Kalle Kunionen has done himself proud today against the world number one. But their confirmation that Son Wan-ho has got through his first match, 21-14, 21-16. Well, he'll be pleased with that. He got used to the conditions, Son Wan-ho, and just upped his game when was necessary, when it was all level at 16 all. But perhaps his coaches will be a little bit concerned that from 15-7 up, he then promptly lost 9 of the next 10 points. But that was due in very large part to the left-hander from Finland. So as they take leave of the court, we have an opportunity to look back at some of the highlights of that men's singles. The city of Glasgow host to the Total BWF World Championships 20 years after they first hosted these World Championships. Of course, this is the 23rd staging of this most prestigious of events. Commonwealth Arena and Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, better known as the Emirates Arena. And our next match, we turn our attention to women's singles. And it is another left-hander, Kate Fukun, up against a name that's very familiar in the world of badminton. Manaki. This time it is Liani Alessandra Manaki. So as far as this part of the draw is concerned, this first round encounter is for the right to play against the number 5 seed, Sun Yu of China. The other seed, as you can see in this section, is Corrales of Spain, the number 15 seed. Liani Alexandria